Ask a banker where all the gold is. He will tell you, it's in the vaults. Almost every ounce of gold ever mined in human history, about 200,000 tons, still exists. It sits in central banks, jewelry boxes, and museums. It is permanent wealth. Now ask him where all the silver is. He will assume it's the same. He is wrong. We have mined about 50 billion ounces of silver in history, but today, less than 3 billion ounces exist in identifiable bullion form. Where did the rest go? It didn't vanish into thin air. It vanished into the landfill. For the last 70 years, we have used silver as a disposable industrial ingredient. We put it in light switches, polyester shirts, bandages, and torpedoes, and then we threw it away. We have treated a precious, finite monetary metal like it was plastic. And now, as demand explodes for solar and AI, episode 12, we are realizing the terrifying truth. The above-ground stockpile is gone. The skeptics say, don't worry, if we run out, we will just recycle the old stuff. This is the recycling myth. It ignores basic chemistry and economics. In the old days, silver was in silverware and coins. It was easy to melt down. Today, silver is used in trace amounts. There are about 0.3 grams of silver in a smartphone. It is painted onto the circuit board in a layer thinner than a human hair. To get that silver out, you have to shred the phone, burn the plastic, creating toxic fumes, and dissolve the metal in acid. The energy and labor cost to do this is roughly $50 to $80 an ounce. If the price of silver is $30, nobody is going to spend $80 to recover it. It stays in the trash. Until silver hits $100 or $150 an ounce, the vast majority of industrial silver is economically unrecoverable. It is locked in a price trap. To understand how much we've lost, we have to look at the history of photography. From 1900 to 2000, photography consumed billions of ounces of silver nitrate. Kodak was the largest silver buyer in the world. When you took a picture, the silver was on the film. When you developed it, some silver was recovered, but much of it ended up in shoeboxes in your attic. Billions of family photos, X-rays, and negatives are sitting in closets around the world. Eventually, those get thrown out. That silver is gone. It is dispersed into the environment in microscopic quantities. We took concentrated geological deposits, mines, and turned them into dispersed molecular pollution. Entropy is a one-way street. You cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube, and you cannot put the silver back in the mine. What about solar panels? They use massive amounts of silver, episode 012. Can't we recycle them? Technically, yes. Practically, no. First, a solar panel has a lifespan of 20 to 25 years. The silver we are putting into panels today, 2025, won't be available for recycling until 2045. That doesn't help the shortage now. Second, the silver in a solar panel is a paste. It is bonded to the silicon. Separating it is difficult and toxic. Currently, it is cheaper to crush the panel and use it for road fill than to extract the silver. Unless governments mandate recycling subsidies, which costs tax money, or silver prices triple, those panels are going to the dump. We are building a green energy future on a foundation of disposable precious metal. So why do the official reports say we have plenty of silver? Because organizations like the Silver Institute count identifiable bullion and jewelry silverware as available supply. They assume that if the price goes up, Grandma will melt her silverware. But Grandma died 10 years ago, and her kids sold the silverware to a pawn shop, which melted it down in 2011. The Grandma stash is largely gone. It was mobilized in the 1980 boom and the 2011 boom. We have picked the low-hanging fruit. The silverware sets, the old coins, the easy scrap, it has already been refined. What is left is the hard stuff, the electronics, the industrial waste. The elasticity of supply, how much new silver appears when price rises, is much lower than the experts think. We are running on fumes. If we can't recycle it, can we just mine more? This brings us to peak silver. Geologists have known for years that ore grades are collapsing. In the 1800s, miners found rocks that were 20% silver. Today, a primary silver mine is excited to find rock that is 0.05% silver, 500 grams per ton. Most silver today is a byproduct. It is found by accident in copper, lead, and zinc mines. This means you can't just mine more silver. To get more silver, you have to mine more zinc. If the world doesn't need more zinc, the silver stays in the ground. Silver supply is inelastic. It does not respond to price signals quickly. Even if silver hits $100 tomorrow, it will take 10 years to build new mines to increase supply. That is a 10-year window of deficit. There is one final player who isn't recycling: the military. The Department of Defense needs silver for everything. Unlike gold, which sits in Fort Knox doing nothing, the strategic silver stockpile was sold off in the 90s and early 2000s to suppress the price. The U.S. government has zero strategic silver left, but they need it for Tomahawk missiles, 500 aughts each, torpedoes, and satellites. When the shortage hits, the military won't recycle. They will confiscate. They will become the buyer of first resort directly from the mines. This removes even more supply from the commercial market. The recycling dead end puts national security at risk. Let's summarize the investigation. We have consumed the Earth's inheritance of silver and thrown it in the trash. The smart money playbook is based on scarcity. 1. Physical is finite. Understand that every ounce you hold is a miracle of geology that survived the landfill. It is rarer than you think. 2. Ignore the recycling hype. Until prices triple, recycling won't solve the deficit. The shortage is real. 3. The price target. For recycling to kick in, silver needs to be 100 plus. That is the incentive price. That is where the market is heading. 4. Hold tight. When the panic starts, remember, they aren't making any more of this, and they can't get the old stuff back. This is the smart money wisdoms. The future belongs to the owners.